Well. Have a look at this. PES is showing that they now mean business. The official Euro 2020 tournament is officially licensed for PES and PES specifically, which means that anything to do that's licensed with the Euros will be in FIFA 20 for the next year. Which for me, I find it interesting because yet again it shows that PES, like what they're doing with Bayern Munich, like what they're doing with Barcelona, like what they're doing with Juventus, they are showing that they have now got some firepower behind them now to actually make a difference to EA. Now maybe EA didn't really want this because back in the Euro 2016 they also had the licenses, but maybe it just show that they can actually compete now with EA when it comes to big licenses like the Euros and so on. So what does this mean for FIFA 20, you may ask? FIFA 20 is relatively going to stay the same, other than when it comes to when the Euros actually take place, there'll be like European, like international man of match cards, which will have no relevance to the actual name or branding of the Euros. So it'd be like a purple card or like an orange card or something like that. That'll be in resemblance to the Euros, just like what it was back in FIFA 16, which to be fair, kind of made the entire Euros not that fun because, well, let's be real here, guys, it doesn't really feel like the real thing, unlike what we had back in the World Cup, which I find upsetting because one of my favourite game modes back in the FIFA titles was in fact back in FIFA 12. The European game mode or the add-on back in FIFA 12 was one of the best things I've ever played because it was so, there was actual story to it, it was an interesting concept that you play, you make your own team, you start and you go across, you know, like roads across Europe in different groups, and you take a player one by one from their teams. If you beat them, it's an interesting concept, and you play through the group stage until you get to the actual, you know, European tournament, if you do in fact make it through, and then you can play and almost beat that with your own country. I find that concept like really fun back then, and this has been a really interesting like year for PES. That like, of course, I made a video about PES, like the demo, like a few weeks ago, which of course the PES community hates me for some reason because apparently because I'm a FIFA YouTuber, therefore I absolutely hate PES, even though literally I'm one of the biggest guys which, you know, criticize FIFA. So apparently because if I criticize PES, it's because I'm a PES fanboy, even though I do the exact same thing for FIFA. It makes no sense. Well, I guess they don't watch my content, so I guess they don't know anything else about me, so they're probably just, you know, I can't blame them for not knowing any better. And also, which is interesting, there's also an official esports tournament, an Euro 2020, which you can only compete in with PES. So I guess if you want to be a competitive player, I guess that'd be interesting if you want to compete in PES, because I don't think PES really has any real big competitive scenes in their game. So this is like the first kind of big step to try and do their own event. But this isn't the only thing that will no longer be in FIFA 20. Of course, Juventus, as we all know, won't be in there as well. The new camp won't be there as well. I don't think the Allianz Arena will be there either. PES is starting to PES FIFA. Like, Juventus will no longer be called Juventus of FIFA, it will be called Piemonte Calcio, with like a purple kit, and basically kits that doesn't resemble the actual kit at all, because they can't take the colours and the colour schemes from the club anymore, other than in the badge. So I find it mental that PES is now actually PESing FIFA now, which I find it very interesting, because maybe FIFA or EA can actually, now they know that there is a competition there, because before in the past, let's be honest here, guys, there wasn't really a real competitive edge between PES and FIFA. PES was just like a more kind of niche kind of community, and then FIFA was the well-known branded you know, game that you saw across Facebook and TV and everywhere, because they had the money. Like, you don't really see PES advertising boards at football games, but you always see FIFA. But it changes this year, because of course PES will be all over the boarding for the Man United games and the Juventus games and the Barca games. I find it interesting that EA may now have a kick up their ass now to try and, you know, win the fans over a bit more, because of course for fans of Juventus, if they want to play with Juventus, they now have to buy PES, and if the more they do this, the more likely that fans from those clubs or countries can actually buy PES more, and they may prefer it even more and give it a go. So of course, what else is missing in FIFA 20? Because there's a few things that will no longer be there anymore, such as VAR will not be in FIFA 20. Of course, this will not be a new feature, because what's the point of having a VAR mode in the game, or VAR in the game, even though it's already a computerized game? So if you're wondering, VAR will not be as a thing in FIFA 20. It will just be, if it is, it will be there as a aesthetic feature, nothing really other than that. It's like the ball line technology, like, you know, gimmick that they show sometimes in Premier League games, you know, on FIFA 19 or 15 or whatever. It's just there to show, to make it feel like a realistic game. So of course VAR will not be in FIFA, because it's already computerized, there's no point in it. Of course, some more things that will not be in FIFA because of PES will be some legends, like the likes of, you know, David Beckham, Ronaldinho, may just be in there, but he may not be there for long, because he has also got a PES contract now, because he's in all the advertising stuff, which meaning that maybe in like a year or two time, if the EA contract runs out with Ronaldinho, maybe it will be exclusive only for PES. This is a likely thing that could happen. Of course, David Beckham is of course only for PES and will not be in FIFA, not for any time soon, I imagine. There is no new menu design as well. If we looked at the PSG announcement for Ander Herrera, we actually saw the menu for FIFA 20, which in fact it looks the exact same thing, just with a colour scheme change. Which, let me know your thoughts. Do you think that there's no need to change the menu, or do you think that it's a bit lazy off EA? Of course, I've in fact played the beta as well, so I've played I've played kickoff mode, I've played Ultimate Team. I can confirm that the menus is pretty much the same thing. I can't say much else other than that, but it is pretty much the same thing. Just a few colour scheme changes here and there, a few little tweaks to like maybe a logo here and there, like the FIFA Points logo, the Coins logo is a bit different. Other than that, there's not much else that's really massively different with FIFA 20 in terms of menus, which I would love it if like it changes compared on like who you support, so you can make like your team as Burnley or Dortmund or Arsenal or whoever else you support, and it changes the colour scheme a bit, from orange, from the normal one, which is pink, to like claret or yellow or whatever. So I feel like little things like that I would like to see a bit more, or maybe depending on what time it is. So I know the season, so the season's with Ultimate Team, so with this it means that every like 2 months is a new season. So I find it cool if like every like new season it changes like the menus a bit depending on what kind of time of year it is. So let's say if it's around Halloween, it'll be like orange and blacks here and there. If it's Christmas, it'll be like reds and greens and frost here and there, snow. If it's like spring, it'll be a bit more colourful, a bit greens here and there as well. Maybe some flowers. I don't know. Like I like little things like this which like makes it different throughout the year. Otherwise, it gets a bit too kind of boring because you just see the same thing each time. Maybe it's just a me kind of thing because I'm a designer, but like I like to see a bit of a change here and there. I like to see like it being a bit more unique to yourself, like what we had back in FIFA 12, because like the straps to the side was different colours. Even back in like FIFA 09, FIFA 10, which they've just completely just took out. And it's not the only thing that FIFA has took out, or EA has took out of FIFA in the last few years. Of course, back in career mode, they've took out their staff and sponsors and all that kind of stuff for career mode. For Ultimate Team, they've took out DKTs. Pro clubs, I don't think they've changed or took or added anything into it for the last few years until this year, of course. But as I've already said in my video a couple days ago, I give my like entire review on FIFA 20 for my first opinions from what we've been given so far. I'll do like my official review once the game's actually fully out. But so far, I'm finding it exciting because there's a few things that they've put more effort into, like career mode and pro clubs. But I feel like it's interesting to see that PES is actually making a big like competitive edge now compared to what it used to be with EA, and maybe they can actually have a kick up their now, and you never know, maybe bring like a big feature into next year, like online career mode, like actual become a legend kind of career, which there's more cutscenes and it's much more diverse. Imagine if there's a create your club mode in career mode as well, or even for Ultimate Team, there's things back in like DKTs and that you can actually have more statistics and everything like that. You can actually change your clubs based on stats. For me, I don't think EA really needs to change much for Ultimate Team. It's just all the other game modes. Like career mode has been a massive thing in FIFA since forever, and it feels like they just got rid of it, like just threw it away to one side a bit because of course it makes them no money. So maybe if they can find a way to make money out of it by like some BS microtransactions or something like that, it could be a thing that they can work on in the future. Of course, Volta is a new game mode which I'll be looking forward to play and test out for myself, see how it works. Of course, I think that it'd be a nice game mode for more casuals to play. I feel like the longevity is in question, but we'll see what happens when it comes out. But I'm looking forward to it. But guys, let me know your thoughts. These are things that would not be in FIFA 20, including Euro 2020. This will no longer be in FIFA 20 either. Smash a like button if you guys
Eyes in the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you, for you.